I have a fascination with TVs. I remember when I was 16, I asked my parents for a 3D TV. It was 2011, so 3D TVs were really big back in the day. So I asked it for Christmas, and I got it. I think it was a Vizio 3D TV. It was only 32 inches. I remember playing Uncharted in 3D, Assassin's Creed Revelations in 3D, and I love it for the time that 3D had its bright spot. But yeah, I've been always fascinated with TVs, and this video will continue to show that. One of the first 4K TVs I gotten was the Sony X800D. I think it was a 42-inch LED TV back in 2016. And one of the reasons I got that was because of how big I heard HDR was going to be for gaming. So I got an Xbox One S, and I also had a PS4 Pro at the time, and I remember really enjoying the TV. Well, the X800D, I remember a friend of mine, I was helping him with an assignment at my newspaper club, and he wanted me to watch Shin Godzilla. So he gave me a DVD, and I remember how clear the upscaling was for that. And I was just playing it on my PlayStation, on my PS4 Pro console through, since it had a Blu-ray disc, and just was blown away at how clear it was. I was surprised it was DVD, but I enjoyed it. But eventually I noticed something when I was playing Assassin's Creed Origins. Great game, by the way, one of my favorite Assassin's Creed games. There was some clouding, and I thought it was distracting to me. So I had a warranty, a Geek Squad warranty on it, and I called the Geek Squad representative, or they showed up to my house, and I asked them what's that? It's oh, that's cloud, and that's part of the LED technology. And at that time I was looking at OLED TVs, and I was saying hey, do you think this room can hold a 55-inch TV? It says sure. And that's when I decided to save my money for an OLED TV, the LG B7 to be exact. I got the LG B7 back in late 2017, near the tail end of 2017, saving up money, asking for Best Buy gift cards, and I went to the Best Buy, just looking at the TV, seeing if I can use the remotes. I did some research on how to pick the best TV for you, and one of them is to use the remote, because a lot of the TVs in Best Buy and other stores are in a demo mode, and that doesn't represent how the TV is actually going to look in your house. So I played around with it and looked at it, and it says, okay, this is a keeper, and I decided to buy it, and the rest is history. You know what they say, once you go black, you never go back. And that applies to OLEDs as well. The first things I played with the LG B7 was Horizon Zero Dawn. And I was just amazed at how deep the colors were, how great the contrast was. I still remember when I played it. And I remember my mom came in, and she's not really tech savvy, not really into TVs like I am. And she just did a just a So I don't know if that was she was impressed, but she, that it was something. But it left an impression on me, and it cemented my love for OLED TVs. Unfortunately, due to it being in 2017 and OLEDs in 2017, I did get burn-in. It was the YouTube. I watched YouTube all the time. I still do. And it had the YouTube symbol logo on the upper right, and it was stuck in there. So I had to replace it. Best Buy replaced it with the LG B8, and I did not have any problems with it. But my time with the B8 was going to be short-lived a little bit because I decided to get the C9. Now you're probably asking, Khalil, why did you get another TV and you didn't have the TV for just a year? Well, I had an excuse, and the excuse was to get ready for the next gen consoles, which is now the current gen consoles, the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X. So, one of the things that they were taglining for the C9 was 4K 120 hertz. And I was like, okay, I'm going to save up to it and get the C9. And, I saved up to it and I enjoyed it. And, well, again, it was short-lived. I had it for about a year. And I was looking at the C10 now. And this was during the start of the pandemic. So I think you know where this is going to go. All right, so let's talk about the C10. And granted, I didn't have any problems with the C9. It was a good TV. I probably had a few image retention problems, but that's about it. Okay, so the reason why I upgraded from the C9 to the C10 was this very important thing that I realized that was going to be important, and it still kind of is with the current gen consoles, and that is variable refresh rate. So that means, say if you have a game that is kind of unstable, the variable refresh rate is supposed to remedy that. So, for example, and it also can improve your frame rate for games. Like, it allows the game to unlock the frame rate and give you like a higher frame rate. So, for example, in Spider-Man Miles Morales, Spider-Man Remastered, and Spider-Man 2, there's this thing called the 120 hertz mode. So when you put the 120 hertz mode on, and with fidelity, you don't get 30 frames per second, but you can get 40 or higher with 40 with 120 hertz mode, but it gets even higher with variable refresh rate on as well. So 40 plus. And you may think 30 to 40, that's not a lot, but it actually makes a difference that you can see visually. It increases the frame rate without having to sacrifice the visual fidelity of the game. So that's like a lot of games today with current gen consoles, PS5 and Xbox Series X. They have a performance mode and they have a fidelity mode, and I like to have a bit of both. I want great fidelity, but I also want good performance as well. So variable refresh rates allows me to do that. So I hope that justifies my upgrading at the time. So get ready. I have another TV that I upgraded to, but this time it took me 2 years to upgrade to a new TV. The Sony A90J. I was looking forward to this TV. I watched the Sony announcement at CES, like their live stream. And I was excited about their cognitive processor, the design. Like I was an LG fan, but after what they did with the C series and like kind of pushed all the features to the G series, and that was only wall mountable, I decided to go back to Sony on this one, and I don't regret it. I love the A90J, like the brightness, the design, the sound quality, which is above average for a lot of TVs. I had the TV for 2 years. It broke my streak of buying a TV every year, so that's an achievement in itself. So I think, you know, it took a bit, like the updates, like at first it did not have variable refresh rate. It added it in, I believe in 2022, like around March 2022 is when they added support for variable refresh rate, because the PS5 supported variable refresh rate at that time. They pushed out an update for the PS5 for variable refresh rate. So, and it was a big difference, especially when I was playing games like Call of Duty, Spider-Man, Miles Morales, Spider-Man Remastered. It was a big feature that's a make it or break it feature. Well, not necessarily break it, but it was like definitely a big feature that when a game supports variable refresh rate, I look forward to the game even more, which is, kind of weird, but me being a TV nerd, I guess, that's kind of common. Overall, I love the A90J, and I think it earns its TV Shootout of 2021 award with flying colors. But there is a new successor, and I'm not talking about the A95K. I wasn't able to get that, but I'll talk to you about it right now. The Alpha and the Omega. For now, the Sony A95L was my most anticipated device of last year, 2023. And you have no idea how much I've talked about this TV. I'm looking forward to it with my friends, my workers, my parents, family members. It's kind of hilarious, and I still kind of find it quite hilarious because I kept talking about it leading up to it. The Sony A95L is the TV I have now, and I'm absolutely loving it. One of the problems with the A90J for me was that, yeah, it was bright, but I was looking for some more punch, like some better color, and the A95L fulfilled that. Before I got the A95L, I was able to go to Value Electronics TV Shootout. Shout out to Mr. Robert Zone and Wendy for having me there. It was a great atmosphere, meeting like a lot of like-minded people. I love it there, and I'm looking forward to coming for 2024. But I seen the A95L, the S95C, the LG G3 there, and while I felt like the S95C and the A95L were on their own league above the LG G3, I found that the A95L's colors looked more natural. It was still colorful, but it looked more natural. The S95C colors were a bit more punchy. But I'll talk more about the A95L in a later video. But all I have to say is that it was my most hyped TV, and it still met my expectations. It even exceeded it a little bit. But that's the TV that I have now, and I am enjoying every second of it. And, all the features that I am waiting for, well, there's Dolby Vision Gaming that came out. But then there's the screen size adjustments, which I think will be very interesting, and I can't wait to get into that. But it has fulfilled my needs, for me, my ideal TV. Again, I will talk about that in a later video. But all I know is that the A95L is the best TV I have ever had so far. Okay, now that I talked about my history with TVs, why don't I talk about my TV preferences first? When I don't really think of screen size right now, because I had a 55-inch since 2017, since I got the B7. So what matters to me most is the brightness, the color, and the gaming features. That's what matters to me the most. These gaming features can be variable refresh rate, Dolby Vision Gaming, input lag, and overall picture quality. Those are like my main concerns. It's understandable for TV enthusiasts to convey that size is very important, that you should get the biggest TV you can possibly get for your budget, and that's understandable, and I agree, but I just haven't really seen the need to up my size because of my living situation. But shout out to Brian's Tech Therapy, Stop the FOMO Tech with KG, Iceman, and Bob. They are really great guys, and you should check out their channels as well. Overall, I'm just summing up my thoughts. I have a love and maybe an addiction to buying TVs. I find it like there's always something new feature coming out that evolves like technology used in TVs, and I find it very interesting to talk about and like research information about these televisions and how each manufacturer displays their philosophy on their screens. So Sony's more natural, Samsung's a bit more punchy, LG is in between, and you have the up and comers, TCL and Hisense, giving people a good value. It's just overall fascinating, and I'm really happy to be a part of this community. And it's an industry where you're always learning. That's technology. You're always learning. Yet, some people say you drop out of technology because everything gets replaced. But just look at it as you're always learning something new. If you like learning new things, learning new technologies, learning new stuff, I'd say get into this industry. And if it doesn't have to be TVs, it can be other stuff. It can be smartphones, it can be headphones, it can be other stuff. So that's it for me. Everyone have a nice day. Crush your New Year goals, and game on, everyone. Bye.